This video is going to help you to get rid of FOMO once for all. Only if you follow all the step-by-step explanation, example and logic that I will be showing you in a bit. You will understand that FOMO in trading is not permanent. It's a temporary reality that takes part of your trading journey. This happens because you don't know yet certain key aspects about your trading, and I will personally guide you through this video using lessons I've learned from numerous past failures and year of experiences. And now guys, I'm not going to talk you through mindset, meditation, gym or whatsoever. I'm going to show you the reality and touch the root cause that helped me to get out of the state of FOMO. So sit tight, let me roll the intro with disclaimer, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, welcome back with Trade Forex, and let's get started. In case you guys are wondering why I got all these drawing over here, it's because there are markups and drawing that I did literally few weeks ago for you guys when I did my market outlook, and we had really some great outcomes from the market outlook. So if you guys haven't watched the video, I suggest you to watch it and you can learn a lot from it as well. But in today's video, I'm here to help you guys with the FOMO, as I mentioned in the introduction, and that's what we're gonna be doing right now. Okay, so this being said, let me start with FOMO, and I don't wanna go in Google and teach you what is the basic definition of FOMO, because if you are watching this video, it means that you need help, and I'm here to provide the help. So I don't want to waste your time on Googling and saying, oh, FOMO is fear of missing out and blah blah blah. No, okay. So starting with the topic. Now, when you start when you start trading, especially at the beginning, right? What it tends to happen is that you want to make money, of course, because we all want to make money. That's why we're here for, right? That's why we're working so hard. That's why we are trying to learn how trading works. So that what it tends to happen is that, let's say you learn how the market moves. So you know price goes up and down. You know that you can use support and resistance. You can use some trend line. You can use structure, whatever things that you want to use it. So in this case, in our case, what we're going to do as a reference is using the structure, the order flow, because this is what I'm teaching on my channel. And this is the one that for me makes the most sense. And this is actually how I even started. All right. So now, for example, in this one, what happens is that you see a break of structure, price is bullish, it's going higher. And then for whatever reason, which can be based for order block, imbalance, or whatever strategy you use, you might try to take a trade somewhere around here. Why? Well, in this case, you got an imbalance, you got a stop on, there is no mitigation, there's liquidity, someone is trying to take a trade over here. Now, me, if I was here 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right now, in a situation like this, when I would have seen price being, let's say, somewhere near my price, which is near my entry, to see price that is running away, that would have triggered a FOMO inside myself. Why? Because I would have said, oh, I missed the sell, maybe for whatever reason. I know that the price has the potential to come here, but then I see prices running away from my entry point, and oh boy, I'm missing what? A trade. I'm missing a lot of pips, and I'm missing over 300, 46, whatever, because even if let's say you don't have this price action over here, right? So if I put reply mode, so let's say that this is a live trade, right? So you are somewhere around here, okay? You know that price you expect price to make a new higher high. So therefore, you can already, from where is the price now, you'll be like, oh, damn, I'm missing 300, at least for a new high, 340 pips or 350 pips. And you will be getting crazy. And I would have gone crazy. I'll be like, oh, I don't want to miss that. So what I would have done probably is like, literally, I would have started taking a buy here, stop loss below here, taking a buy here, putting a stop loss below. Now, in this case, you guys have already seen the price played out because it went nicely to the upside. That would have been beautiful. I would have been happy, and I'd be like, oh yes, I made it. And I used to do that. Okay, why I used to do it? It's like when I used to see this missing out from this zone, I was like, no, I'm getting because I have to make money. That's the priority. But in reality, over the years, I've learned that just by doing this simple mistake, making this simple decision, I was messing up so bad, because now it's clean. You can see price literally going to the upside and making new high. But then, most of the time, if not majority of the time, I had cases where price was going higher, right? And then, bam, taking my stop, and then shooting to the upside. Or, bam, taking the stop, activating my original entry, then going to the upside. Or, taking the stop, activating my original entry, and then boom, hitting the stop. So what did I do? I literally exposed myself like to the market with further risk that I could have avoided if I was just sticking to the same zone that I've selected from the beginning. Now, it sounds simple, but it's not, because what happened is that when you start trading, and that's where I want to go now, is that you learn few strategy, few approach, but in reality, one thing that you don't understand and you are not capable of analyzing, because that what happened to me as well, is that there are so many variables, so many circumstances that you have to take in consideration before you even pull the trigger. So let's say that I'm teaching you in this channel the structure high, low, high, low. And I know the higher, low is going to help me to make a bias, a direction towards specific zone the market goes. Okay. I don't want to be in a scenario where I just use this in order for me to make money. No. I have to make sure that I have a proper trading journal. I have to make sure that I have a proper trading plan. I have to make sure that I know the type of target I'm targeting. So this means that what is my TP and what is my risk exposure. So, everything that I'm listing now, it sounds simple, but it's not, because putting all these things in line together will help you to start building a specific flow. So what do I mean is that when you start with trading at the beginning, all right, and many people, including myself, they have this dumb. So that's how their literally equity curve, or let's say how their literally journey look like when they start trading. And then when they come from this side to this side where they see everything positive, everything going good and amazing, they're extremely emotionally happy and have a lot of positive thoughts. When it comes from this to this side of the curve, which is like literally going down and negative, so a lot of losses, not being able to build your account, blowing your account, having negative emotions and stuff, it literally destroys you. All right. What you should be instead doing, and you should be focusing about when it comes to your trading journey, is having this. It has to be smooth, right? It doesn't have to be crazy. It has to be solid and smooth like this. And eventually you start seeing something like this going to the upside, right? So I'm not saying that, the curve of your journey should look like always like this. No, it can have a little bit of throwdown. It can have a lot of negativity, not a lot of, but hopefully not. It can have some negativity whatsoever, but those negativity, it has to be like this, all right? Like a small type of flow, but then it still keeps you in the game. And that's what you should be aiming for. And that's one of the things that you need to learn how to do in order for you also to avoid FOMO. Now, going to touch literally the root cause of this FOMO, what I can say to you is that FOMO, the problem that FOMO brings is most of the time, it's just not taking, as I said before, it's just not taking the wrong trade out of your trading plan. Is also ruining your risk exposure. It's also, on the top of that, ruining your take profit as well. Why? Because let's say now that I'm here and for whatever reason I have a FOMO. So from this zone, so this low over here, I just press buy because I'm gonna buy now. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't want to put my stop loss here. What if price comes here, right? So then eventually you do this. You keep your USL underneath this level. Already by doing this is a big mistake because you're now exposing 2 times of what you have exposed over here. And I mentioned that before. And then secondly, what you do is that now, let's say that you say, oh, I want to go for a higher high. Again, the 340 pips or whatever above, right? This by itself is a 1 to 45 risk to reward. And this one here, the original one, if you would have stick to that, that will be a 1 to 5.5. Now, what can you see from that? What are you learning from that? Is that you're not only putting like useless type of risk exposure to the market, but on the top of that, even if you had TP, you're not gaining anything valuable because your initial trade was 1 to 5.5. Well, now is a 1 to 145. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like where I'm going with that? Now, not only that, after this is just the risk management side. After this, as I said before, you're going to have a lot of frustration. Emotionally, you're going to be drained because if you hit a stop loss, things goes wrong, you're going to start blaming yourself and you're going to feel like you're a loser and the trading is not for you and the trading is rigged or maybe they're against you and whatsoever. So it's like a butterfly effect, right? You do one thing and then boom, everything else has their own consequences. So this being said, now let me tell you some of the things that can also trigger FOMO. And one of the very most important things that I've learned throughout my years of experience is that using social media, mostly Instagram, YouTube, or different other sources like TikTok, whatsoever, sometimes that can mess up your brain so much, because you might be part of a community, and what you might be trying to do, it's like you're trying to learn from them. You may be doing the same exact strategy, but then sometimes when you take a trade, you jump on social media and you start seeing these people taking exactly the opposite trade of what you have just taken, despite the fact that you both are trading the same exact style. And just by looking at it, you're gonna get crazy. You're gonna start having FOMO, and what you're gonna be doing is like you're gonna be losing confidence on yourself, and you're gonna be starting following what they're doing. And if they hit a stop loss, then you're gonna get mad with yourself, because you will be blaming, saying, "Oh, I should have done what I was trying to do." Okay, so social media, is probably one of the killer confidence, that's the way I can call it, for so many traders, because they are so obsessed on seeing what other traders are doing that they forget the amount of journey and hard work they put on themselves. And trust me guys, I did that as well. Okay, I used to do that every time, stalking, watching other traders, other people, even people that was in the same community, and I was every time getting frustrated because so many times things are not aligning the way they're doing it or the way I was doing it, and this was killing my confidence, and it was triggering so much FOMO into me, because I was like, no, I have to do it because they're making it, I'm not. I have to rush the process, I have to rush everything else. And just by doing that, I literally lost so much, as a personal wise, even as a financial wise. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that you have to know that in reality, when it comes to trading, you have to be fully aware of the fact that trading is very, very subjective. Okay, you can learn so many things, so many technicals, so many strategies, but then it's on you to create your rules, your objective targets, your objective stop loss, your, like, everything has to make sense to you, not what other people are telling, not what other people are saying, even if you guys are using the same strategy. Okay, so this is something very, very important that you definitely have to take away from this video, because this is a big mistake that I made for such a very long time. I used to chase others instead of chasing myself, and that destroyed me. Okay, so make sure that you're taking notes, because guys, trust me, I wish I had someone telling me what I'm telling to you in this video. Okay, and then now, going back to FOMO again, right? Fear of missing out, is that the real source, the real trick that will help you to understand how you can avoid that. And the reason why I said in the intro that this is a temporary and not permanent journey is because more you backtest, more you study, more you progress in trading journey, you will understand and you will start seeing certain specific type of patterns that will make you realize that in reality, having FOMO is just a waste of energy and time, because the next trade is literally right in the corner. And how do you understand it? How do you embrace and you make yourself understand that the next trade right is in the corner? And this is something that so many traders fails to do so, because they just want to make money. And again, guys, you have to understand that making money is just a consequence of your journey. Making money is not what you should be focusing. You should be focusing on your journey. Once you understand how the journey works, then you will know how to pull out the money out of the market. Okay, so now how do you understand the journey? How do you learn the journey? Let me ask you a question. Maybe you don't have a driving license, right? But you know, we all know how a car works. We all know what are the components that forms a car in order for you to make it work, right? So you wanna get inside a car. You know, you might have seen your family member, your friends, so I don't know, anyone in your life. You saw the way they drive a car. You know what makes a car move. But let's say that you don't have a driving license. I'm pretty sure, I mean, you know, we had to learn at one point, right? Let's say you don't have a driving license. Somebody says to you, jump on a car, drive this car from point A to point B, right? So this is you, point A, without a driving license, right? This is your point B. And if I say, drive this car from point A to point B without a driving license, without you knowing how should you ride it, right? And the streets are like this, how will you feel it? Just tell me, how will you, just think about it, how will you feel it? Wouldn't you be scared? Because you know how the car moves, you know you need the petrol, you know you got the steering wheel, you know you got the brakes, you know you got everything, because you always seen it. But you by yourself, that you never done it, you never drove a car because you don't have a license or you never learned it, how do you think you being in that state will make you feel at that specific moment? Okay, it's the same exact things when it comes about trading. We all know market goes ups and down. We all want to make money. The way we all want to drive the car from point A to point B for whatever reason. But then if we don't learn the journey and the element, the component that is needed to move the car, how are we going to do the same things on trading if we don't learn what trading you need to learn about, right? So This is very, very important. And this is something that I started thinking inside myself when I was doing at the beginning, because I was like, how come I feel the need, I feel the urgency of making this money? It's like me, I want to drive from, I don't know, from my point A to point B for whatever reason, but then I don't know how to drive it, but I push myself to do it, and then I end up making so many errors, so many mistakes. And the same happened even on trading. So now you have to understand that the best way to get rid of this FOMO once for all is you not only taking and learning all the elements needed as a part of your trading journey, but you also gotta visualize that, because what you visualize it stays more in your mind than what you actually think about. Okay, and what do I mean about this? Okay, don't worry guys, because I'm breaking everything down. I know it's a lot to take in, but soon at the end of this video everything will start making sense. Now, first and foremost, when it comes about the element, you gotta make sure that you have a specific trading plan when you start trading, when you start learning. So you have to have a specific trading plan that tells you what you should be doing or not doing every single time. So that should be the point one, trading plan. All right. Then the second thing is that you gotta have a trading journal. It's very, very important, because on your trading journal, and honestly, trading journal, it doesn't have to be very complex. It doesn't have to be sophisticated the way you see on YouTube whatsoever. Me personally, over the years, the only thing I did most of the time is the way I hit my losses. I was always writing it down there, because I needed to understand, right, the emotions that were coming out from those losses. So it's very important for me to figure out the emotions and work on myself. And so that was a trading journal. And then obviously trading journal, trading plan, but then eventually another important thing that a lot of people forget is about your goal. Okay, so what is your goal? What is it exactly you are aiming to do? Like how much you want to target every week, how much you want to target every month, or how much you want to target every year? How do you want to handle your losses? How do you want to handle your profit? Guys, this is a pure business. Trading is not a game. Okay, so how do you do that? Now, when you start putting all these things together, right, and you link them back to your trading, then you will start seeing something very, very important, which is the repetition, as I said before, of specific pattern. And the pattern, I'm not talking about, oh, head and shoulder, oh, trend, no. I'm talking about the pattern of yourself, about pattern of you taking certain decision, certain emotions, certain triggering point. So, you tend to do something silly, because I used to do so many silly things, right? And by me writing down everything on my trading journal, after blending everything together, my goals, my trading plan, and, the way I was trading, I started realizing that certain emotions were so repetitive, right? And one of these, the emotion, in this case, we're talking about FOMO, it was FOMO. So then I needed to understand, like, okay, why I feel FOMO despite the fact that I know I made the same FOMO mistake yesterday, the week before, the day before. What is the important thing that I'm missing over here? So then I realized that the most important things was for me to collect data about the specific type of strategy that I was using. And this is something that you guys have to understand is a must. When you start backtesting, I know a lot of guys don't do that. You can do that even in your live testing. Forward testing doesn't have to be backtesting, right? You guys have to take your strategy, whatever pattern you use. So let's say head and shoulder, or I don't know, structure whatsoever. And then you start using that on a specific time frame, because I say that this is very important, right? And you try to see how many times that pattern, right, happened, and how many times you hit a stop loss, how many times you hit a TP, how many times you miss the trade, and whatsoever. By doing this exercise, what you're gonna do is, like, one, you're gonna have enough data for you to know what exactly is going on the chart based on your strategy. And secondly, it's gonna train your eyes to see and believe on what is tangible in the market. Because if you think about it, it's like, oh, maybe price is gonna come here, or maybe price is gonna... You can't think about it because it's probability. We never know what's gonna happen in the price. But one thing we know is that when I see price making a higher high and higher low, and for whatever reason, the extreme, or I don't know, somewhere decisional, or I don't know, whatever is the element you use to take a trade, and you're like, okay, this is a place where I see price coming often and all the time. So like, for example, in this break, here it came on the decisional, right? In this break, it came into the decisional. This break, price came into decisional. So you see, when I start seeing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, 80 times, 100 times, then at one point, I know that if I see break and retracement, I see this one is missing out over here, even for a little bit, I don't feel anymore the need or the trigger to have that FOMO, because visually I've learned previously collecting data that now all I gotta do is wait for price to break again and then wait for price cut to come back over here. And as you can see, it didn't happen. Right? It didn't happen. But you might have had FOMO here because you see price is running away and it's going wherever you want to go to the upside. But let me show you what exactly happens after you miss it one time, you miss it 2 times, and then you might have taken that. I don't know, how would you have taken that? Like if, let's say you would have refined it, then probably not. But if you would have taken the whole zone, that would have been a trade. But then if you would have not taken that, let's say even this one was a miss. So you had 1 miss, 2 miss, and is it 1 miss, 2 miss? So you got 2 miss, and then you got 3 miss. Check this out. This one here from the extreme, it'll have been probably the cleanest trade for you, right? So now, like guys, just follow through, because trust me, this helped me so much. And guess what? This trade, it was probably the one that I waited for the price to come exactly where I needed to be or where I wanted to be. It was the longest trade that I could have taken for a nice 1 to, well, in this case is I don't know, 132 pips. I honestly don't take any trade with this type of pips or spread or whatever. Usually, okay, this is just for example purposes. But anyway, you can see a nice 1 to 11 or even 1 to 12, right? And this is something that if you don't practice it, you will never grasp it, okay? Because eventually you watch a video on YouTube, you come to the chart, and you're like, oh, I know higher high makes a higher low, then you know what, I'm taking the trade because I've seen that happening. But then if it doesn't happen, emotionally you get triggered, you start having FOMO, you start jumping on the trade that you could have avoided. But by jumping on the trade, you don't know that you're making certain type of mistakes. So what you do this. And this is needed, guys. You gotta have to work hard if you want to make it work. And it's just watching videos and trying on the chart is just not gonna help you. You have to back test, you have to data collect, you have to forward test, live test, whatever test you want to do, just do it. But you gotta visually be able to see this happening over and over and over and over again in order for you to be able to make it happen. And then eventually you will see that at one point there's no more space for FOMO, because now you're using your logic, you're using your visual understanding of what is exactly happening in the market, thanks to also having these 3 elements that I mentioned here before, which is trading plan, trading journal, and your goals, in order for you to have the final outcome. All right, so it is very, very important that you guys start doing this type of thing. So you should be stopping watching thousands of videos, going to the chart, founding your account, putting money on it, and start trading. Because then eventually what's going to happen is that because of your FOMO, because of your negative emotions and energy, you're going to start losing so much money, you're going to start losing so much focus, so much attention, that you're going to start losing confidence on this. And you will be like, oh, trading is a scam, trading, it doesn't work, oh, I'm losing so much money, I'm losing this and this and this and that. Okay, I'm going to show you something now, one more example, right? So then you guys can understand that what I did before, it wasn't the easiest example. Because I see so many people saying, oh, you just showed the winning one, you just showed the easiest one. No, I'm not going to do that, because here it's pretty simple. You guys see the flow is very clean. Let me show you right now live. This is live, so it's not that, oh, I made it before, so I'm giving it to you now, because I'm so familiar with the price action that as soon as I look at it, I know where I could have taken a lot of losses or a lot of TP. But look at this. This is literally the recent price action. You guys can see there's a timer over here. So I can clearly see if we stay just in this time frame, okay, without switching time frame whatsoever. If I were to follow, actually, I'm going to go to 1 hour. So I'm going to make it even harder, okay? I'm going to make it even harder. So then you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, check this out. Here, if we do the same exercise as before, so we go with the order flow. So we start from here, going high, low, right? Then you go high, then you go low, we go high, we go low, we go high, we go low, all right? Then we go high, we go low, low, high, and then boom, this breaking over here. Now, check this out. Price is breaking to the upside. Okay, broke to the upside. It didn't get to my point of interest. Then what happened is that I wait again for the extreme, because we had a new high. I hit a stop loss. So we have literally one stop loss over here. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Let me take this out. All right, cool. So we got one stop loss over here. Why? Because if you would have taken the extreme, the way I showed to you before, and you would have stick to your plan, your rules, and your trading journal, you would have taken a stop loss over here. Now you might be saying, okay, we might have switched bearish because we broke the structure. Then I'm taking a sell. Then you got another stop loss because price went higher. Then you got demand again. You're like, maybe this time it's going higher. Guess what? Another stop loss. All right. Now must be going sell. Well, it's not, because you guys can see it just broke to the upside. And then check this out. Then what happens is that price goes high, low, high, low, high. Now here, high, low, high. Again, same thing. You have one stop loss here, right? Because it breaks to the downside, it doesn't allow you to take any trade, and then again you try to sell. Oh my gosh, you're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6 losses. You'll be like, oh, that's the end for me. I'm not gonna trade this anymore. I have FOMO, emotion, it's scam, it's whatsoever. Okay, let me show you. If you closely pay attention, let me show you something. Let's say you had a huge drawdown all there over here, right? Now, when it comes to this drop, right, just this drop over here, okay, you know now, again, just following the structure, following the order flow, if you were to take a trade, you probably could have taken this trade, okay, this trade over here. Not probably, I would have personally taken that because this is picture perfect. You go high, low, high, break to the downside, you would have taken a trade over here. Now, you remember the trade I showed you earlier, the third trade, the longest one that was for a nice 1 to 11. Where is it? This one over here, sorry. Oh, this one, yeah, that was a 1 to 11, right? So now let's say that here, right, this trade for a sell, because I would have obviously definitely 100% refined it, but I'm sure you guys would have done that as well if you're trading smart money concept. If you want to know how to refine and everything, I got very good videos on my channel, so make sure that you watch them so you guys can know how to take that. This would have been something that I would have definitely taken somewhere around here. Not definitely with 15 pips. I would have gone definitely lower because I never go actually with this type of pips. But let's say for the sake of this example, I'm gonna stay in 10 pips. I usually do within 6, 7, maximum 8 pips. I never go anything beyond that. But let's say even if I keep even higher, okay, let's say I keep it 15 pips, right? So what is happening is that now if I have taken this trade already here, where is the price has been live, is a 1 to 5, full volume 1 to 5. All right, now I can see that this is a bearish, is going low. I can target all the way down here. That itself is already a 1 to 12. It's live, so I don't know what's gonna happen next. But one thing I know is that if I have taken all these stop losses, right, and I'm a 1 to 5 over here, what do you guys can see is that with one trade you literally covered 90% of the losses you had over here. Now the real question is that how strong you are in order for you to take this type of losses, all these losses in a row. And I'm not saying, and this is something that happened obviously not in one day, it happened over few days, but the question here, the real question you should be ask yourself is that how strong you are and how you can mentally take all these losses in a row in order for you to make it work. Well, how do you do it? The only way you do it is just backtesting it, because, or live testing, the way I said before. Because if you do a test, and you can do any test over these last few years or even months whatsoever, I'm pretty sure that this example over here, this is not just the one time where you're hitting all these losses in a row. You definitely may have had so many other times where you hit a stop loss over here, 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 here. Look, I can already see here. You guys can see this high, low, high, low, high. Break to the upside, stop. Break to the downside, okay, sell, stop. Break to the upside, and then eventually take the trade. But then you see here you had like 3 losses in a row. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, is that for me personally, I do hit losses. Okay, I have nothing to hide about. And if I had a day like this or a week like this, I don't mind. I just stick to it, because nowadays I don't feel anymore emotionally that, because I know based on so many years of testing and testing and testing that this happens. So now I train myself to understand how I can avoid that, thanks to what? My sticking to my trading plan, sticking to my trading journal, and sticking mostly to my goals. So in this case, if my goals is to make, like, I don't know, 1 to 15, because you guys see I made so many trades on 1 to 20, 1 to 15, 1 to 10 as well, even 1 to 5 whatsoever, right? I know that I don't need to worry about, because just this 1 to 5 would have given you back already 90% of the trade. And that's it. That's done, right? So I hope, guys, like this video gave you a bit of insight to understand that just because you're learning something from YouTube or just because you're learning something from online, you don't have to jump on the chart immediately and trying to take the hell out of the market because you want to make so much money. No, that's never going to happen, because you need to find a point of equilibrium between yourself, between the technicals, between the emotion, between the psychology and everything else that's needed in order for you to have a specific flow. That means that you guys have to get the driving license, because I gave you the example of the car. You guys have to get the driving license, you have to get the trading license in this case, right, with yourself. So giving it to yourself, learn about yourself, all right, and making sure that you know how to ride yourself from point A to point B, taking the right precautions. All right, so this being said, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed the video. I truly hope that you understood what I wanted to say, and everything that's shared over here are coming from my personal experiences, are coming from a personal point of view, and the things I'm sharing with you guys now are exactly the same things that I used on my personal trading journey, on my personal development, and it helped me so much. Do I still make mistake emotionally, or things that are out of my discipline plan or whatsoever? Yes, I do, but not as I used to do before, and they are very, very minimal, because at the end of the day, we are a human being. We are not robot, we are not machines. We are human, and we might have some bad days, some sad days, or whatever you want to name it. But the most important thing is that we learn how to keep our damage to the minimal possible, like literally as the minimum as you can. And the only way for you to do that is understanding how the journey works and how you should be adapting yourself to this journey to make yourself every day better and better. If you are having a FOMO, now you know that the key reason is because you don't have all the elements that are needed to you in order for you to understand where you're wrong or where you're right. So I highly encourage you guys to take very, very, very seriously what I just said in the video, and what I said about these three elements: having your trading plan, your trading journal, your goals, and then a deep understanding of yourself. Putting them all together, finding the real flow, will be the key to your success. So this being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you to the next one. If you like, share, subscribe as always, and I'll catch you to the next one.